Hello Daily Drafters and welcome back to the channel for today's daily draft and the start of a new season here on the channel. It is Outlaws of Thunder Junction season, baby. Yeehaw, am I right? All right, so we're going to dive into our first Outlaws of Thunder Junction draft here on the channel, and maybe I can have as much success as I have had in the past. I think I've started the last 3 or 4 formats with a trophy. Fingers crossed. We'll see if we can keep that up here today. There's going to be a lot of talking and a lot of quick timers here in our first draft, as we are going to have to get through some cards and make sure I can try to convey to you as much as I can about the cards that I like and the cards that you may not be able to read because of all the text on them here. So I'll do my best here in the first draft, but hang tight with me. We're going to have a lot of fun. Outlaws of Thunder Junction season. Here we go. All right, here we are in Pack 1, Pick 1. Let's take a look at our rare, or in this case, double rare and mythic rare. Whenever you sacrifice this or another artifact, you may pay 2. If you do at the beginning of your next end step, create a token that's a copy of it. You can sack it to draw a card. So this is almost like 4 mana, draw a card every turn. Probably not the card I'm looking for here. Hell to pay. This is actually worse than Slice from the Shadows from the previous set. For those of you familiar with that, it's kind of a modal removal spell here. There is Repulse, 3 mana, return a creature to its hand, draw a card at instant speed. I'm going to reserve that here. I do think that might be the pick. Got a spree card in Requisition Raid. Artifact Enchantment, put a counter on creatures. Jolene could be interesting in a green-red 4-power Matters deck, which I don't think I'm going to take over Repulse here. Although Hulda Marauder is another good one. 6 mana, 4/2 flyer. Cost 1 less for each card in your graveyard. And you get to discard things and stuff. But as I said, the timers go quick nowadays. So here we are, taking Repulse in the first pack. It is a pretty good card. I do like it here. Double Oasis Gardener, no thanks. What do we have? Irascible Wolverine is a common that sticks out to me. 3 mana, 3/2. And then when it ETBs, you Impulse Draw. It also has Plot here. We got Throw from the Saddle as a removal spell at common. Bighorn, whatever. Bucolic Ranch. Can cast Mounts. Deep Muck Desperado for the mill life. There's also Lila and Siphon Insight. So let's see. Lila. Whenever you cast a multicolored instant or sorcery from your hand, exile it. If you do, it becomes plotted. It's a little weird. But there is Siphon Insight, which could lead us towards a blue-black control life. This is a double way to commit crimes, as it does flashback from your graveyard. Okay, so, oh, I see what that card did now. It lets you, get, instants and sorceries, double them up so it can go ahead and, plot them as it resolves. So it still did resolve here. So what can we do here now? Well, only black card is Desperate Bloodseeker, which I think is a pretty good card, but less good in blue-black. There is Duelist of the Mind, though. 2 mana, 0/3, although on your turn it's a 1/3 because you've drawn a card this turn. It has Flying and Vigilance. It is Nathan Stoyer. As you can see in the text on the right, Nathan Stoyer World Champions card. Phantom Interference could be interesting. It's like a Quench variant here. Void Slime. 3 mana, counter a target spell, activated ability or triggered ability. I'm not seeing a lot of other great stuff here. I think it's a pretty easy Duelist of the Mind here. We're pretty deep into blue already, not locked into black. I'm going to try to let most of these timers go to the full timer just so you can have time to read these cards here. And this is not great because it's pick 4 and all the blue cards are gone out of this pack, which is not a good sign here. So what do we have? Rictus Robber, 4 mana, 4/3 with Plot. If a creature died this turn, you make it 2/2. Pretty darn good. Unscrupulous Contractor, 3 mana, 3/2. You can sack a creature. If you do, draw 2, lose 2. There is Thunder Salvo, which is a fine removal spell, not outstanding. And Patient Naturalist is interesting as well. 3 mana, 2/3 ETBs, mill 3. Put a land into your hand from those, and if you can't, you make a treasure. I do think that's pretty darn good. I do like Rictus Robber. And we already have the Siphon Insight to lean us a little bit towards black. I'm not really sold on blue-green already. as an archetype in this format. Because see, now we get Tyrant Scorn here. Blue-black for an instant, destroy target creature with mana value 3 or less, or bounce a creature. Pretty good there. There is Canyon Crab for some defensive speed. There's Stop Cold as a clunky removal spell. Caught in the Crossfire is your kind of deal 2 damage to creatures variant this set. Pitiless Carnage I don't think is that great. I mean, you can sacrifice lands in the really, really late game, but I don't think it's that great of a rare. Got Raven of Fell Omens here, which could be an interesting deck if we get some of these pretty late, but I don't think I'm going to take that over a Tyrant Scorn when we're kind of not locked into blue-black, but leaning towards blue-black already here. Now there's a Hypothesis, and if we play blue-black, this is the perfect kind of card to splash. 5 mana, draw 2, and then you may, and hint you will want to, discard a non-land card, and when you do, it deals 4 damage to a creature. It just turns any card in your hand into a better than Lightning Bolt to a creature, so that's a pretty easy pick here. Jagged Barrens would be a great card to pick up for us to help splash this here. Mourner's Surprise, a generically good recursion spell, but we might not be playing a ton of creatures in a controlling deck here. So we're going to take Hypothesis and look for a way to splash it. Ride down for the red-white aggro life here. There is Take the Fall, which is a nice cantripping combat trick. Stop Cold for removal here. Desperate Bloodseeker is a 2-mana 2/2 mill. Could also commit a crime if we want to do that, but there is Soured Springs. This is tough between the crime land. So when these lands enter the battlefield, they deal a damage to an opponent, which does commit a crime. So if you care about that, these lands are going to be very good. And Take the Fall, again, I think is going to be pretty good in most decks here. I'm going to go ahead and take the crime land to help my mana out a little bit. And we'll go from there. Okay, there is Throw from the Saddle. There's Fake Your Own Death, but I don't know how good that's going to be in a more controlling deck like the one we have here. We could end up being blue-red, in which Thunder Salvo might not be horrible. Trick Shot, the expensive clunky removal spell in red, and then a couple of green cards that I don't think are going to pull me out of what I'm doing here. I guess I'll take Thunder Salvo as the highest upside here. We are definitely getting cut out of blue from our right, but that means we'll get hooked up in blue in the second pack. So this is the wheel, and the duplicator did in fact wheel. There is Geyser Drake, which is pretty good in blue-red. Blue-red cares about casting 2 spells per turn, and usually has a good amount of instants. So maybe Geyser Drake is better. I don't think I'm getting into white for Take Up the Shield, and I don't think the duplicator is really anything at all. Another ranch here. Reach for the Sky. I don't think that's the quote from Toy Story, but you get what I mean. Oasis Gardener, I guess we'll take that. I don't think I'm playing any of these cards. 3 mana 2/2 mana dork here. Void Slime. I don't think we're green, but I guess it's probably the closest to what we're playing. I don't think this is going to be a Silver Deputy. This is the card I usually really like in formats like this. And hint, I probably will really like this one too. I played it a good bit at my pre-release, and it did help. Ooh, that's a sign. I think a Patient Naturalist wheeling is pretty darn good. 3 mana 2/3 ETBs, mill 3, and then you get a land back. If you can't, you make a treasure. Yes, please. Okay, this is a pretty good sign. Blue card wheeled. It's not, I mean, it's fine. It's not outstanding, but it is a removal spell. And then a Reckless Lackey as kind of like an aggressive red card here that I don't know if we'll play. So we got a lot of colors, so let's see what we open in pack 2. 3 mana, 4/2 ETBs, add 1 mana of any color. Whenever another creature with power 4 or greater ETBs, you draw a card. That is pretty good, but holy moly, I see an Intimidation campaign, and this seems to be one of the more fun and good build-arounds of the set. 3 mana, ETBs drains for 1 and you draw a card. Whenever you commit a crime, you can bring it back to your hand. For those of you that were around during Guilds of Ravnica and Ravnica Allegiance time, this is much like Dovin's Acuity and Disinformation campaign, both of which were very good. I still think I am most likely to be blue-black here, which is why I'm leaning towards this. There's a discard spell in Binding Negotiation. There is Consuming Ashes as an instant speed 4 mana kill spell. Terminal Agony for red-black removal. But we're taking the Intimidation campaign here. No great blue cards. There is a Desert's Dew, which is like a scaling removal spell based on the amount of deserts you have. There's also Slick Shot Show Off. So 2 mana, 1/2 flying haste. Whenever you cast a non-creature, it gets +2/+0 until end of turn, and it has plot. There is murder, which is fine. You know, it's been fine lately. I don't think we can make Annie Flash work. 6 mana, 4/5. Reanimate something and impulse draws. It's a really good card. I just don't think we're that close to that. I still think I'm closest to blue-black, but I feel there might be a world where I am blue-red. So I'll take the show off in the event that we can go that direction. As we do see Crown Violent Cacophony here. 4 mana, 2/3 flying. Whenever you cast your second spell, get a counter and draw a card. Nimble Brigand. 3 mana, 1/3 can't be blocked if you've committed a crime, and when it deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card. If we're going to be blue-black, we're going to be very interested in committing crimes here. If we go with Crown, we're kind of giving up on, I mean, Siphon Insight, Tyrant Scorn, Rictus Robber to go towards blue-red. This can go in either blue-black or blue-red, which is why I'm going to take it over Crown here. Cornucopia is really nothing. It's just like a mana rock. Return the Favor. Copy an instant spell or sorcery. No thank you. Change the target. Could be pretty good against a removal-heavy deck, but we are playing best of one here. Got a Rope Master, 5 mana, 4/4 bounce, a tapped creature. Rooftop Assassin, 4 mana, 2/2 flash flying lifelink. That's just pretty good. ETBs destroys target creature an opponent controls that was dealt damage this turn. Probably won't come up too often. It's just a 2/2 flying lifelink, but that's just a pretty good card. I don't think I necessarily need to go towards one of these red cards, so I'll just take another black one here. What is Key to the Vault? Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, look at that many cards from the top of your library, exile non-land. You may cast it without paying its mana cost. It's pretty good, but not great. I don't think that's something I'm willing to go out of my way for, especially when there's a Skullduggery in the pack. 1 mana. Creature you control gets +1/+1. Target creature an opponent controls gets -1/-1. I think that's what I'll be going for here over Vault Buster. Hindering Light is probably playable in this format, but I'll take Skullduggery here. Another Rooftop Assassin. I don't know if I want to. It is a little expensive. There is a Raven of Fell Omens. Binding Negotiation commits a crime. Slickshot Vault Buster. 3 mana, 1/4 Vigi. If you've committed a crime, it's a 3/4. That's very filler. I think I'm going to lock in blue-black at this point. And I don't think I'm necessarily... I want to try out Binding Negotiations. I don't think it's a great card, but I do think it's a card that I'd like to try out at the very least. I guess I'll take Assassin here over the Splasher. This is a way to repeatedly commit crimes if the Splasher can attack, but it isn't guaranteed to do that. So I'll take another Assassin here. There's a Duelist. I do really like Duelist with at knife point, but that isn't today's draft, I don't think. So we'll take the Rooftop Assassin. Ooh, there's a Slick Sequence, though. We don't really have the fixing to really make this work, as much as I do like Slick Sequence. Jailbreak Scheme, 3 mana sorcery, bounce a creature to its library. It's probably my pick, because again, I'm pretty sure I'm locking in blue-black here. We are on the wheel. Got another Negotiation. Thunder Salvo. I don't think I need Gigapede. Probably going to need to figure out a way to win at some point. Who needs win cons? So I think I'll lock in blue-black and hopefully find a way to splash this Hypothesizzle here. Desert's Dew is a fine enough removal spell, especially if we can get one or two more deserts in the deck. It also commits a crime, which we are going to be very interested in doing in this deck. So let's go ahead and take Desert's Dew. But holy cow, Crumb, Violent Cacophony Wield, as well as a holy cow. But let's take Crumb and just delay the decision even farther. Another Lackey here that we probably aren't playing no matter what we're doing. Hindering Light. Holy cow. Alright, I'll take the Hindering Light. Last pick, holy cow, why not? Okay, what is this garbage? Beginning of combat, draw a card. Exile artifact or creature from your hand. If you do, create a token that's a copy of it, except it's a 3/3. Is that good? I don't know. What else do we have here? Ooh, Pest Infestation is a very splashable card that I think I have to take. So for those of you that don't know about this card is like making waves in Vintage Cube. 1 green mana plus double X. So destroy X target artifacts or enchantments and create twice X pests that die and to gain you a life. And you don't technically need a target for the artifact and enchantment half of it. I think we have to take this over a Bloodseeker, a Daring Thunder Thief, and see if we can figure out a way to fit that into the deck with a splash here. Alright, Tiny Bones. 1 mana, 1/1 Death Touch. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you can cast a non-land permanent from that player's graveyard. I have found in my experience that this never actually casts anything. They just block it with a Mercenary. So it's not actually that great. There is another Repulse, though, and I think I'll take that. Seize the Secrets Wheeling would be good. Rictus Robber Wheeling would be good. Don't think I want the Muscle. There's another Gardener. I guess Gardener is a way to splash, potentially, if we feel like we have to play that. But let's take another Repulse here, because that is a great card. What is this one? So 1 mana, they discard a card. And then whenever a legendary enters, they mill and lose a life. That doesn't seem good enough. There is Ionize. 3 mana, counter a spell, deal 2 damage to their controller. How many creatures do we have? 8. Gosh. As good as Hollow Marauder is, this is really like not a Hollow Marauder deck. Although, what if this was like 5 mana, 4/2 flying? They discard a card, and you potentially draw a card. It's still just really good. I think I still just have to take it. Because it's either that or like Bloodseeker, Link Breaker kind of thing. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Marauder there. Dust Bowl, no thank you. Deep Muck Desperado. I don't think we're going to be the mill deck. Which one is this? 3 mana, 3/2 Death Touch. Whenever you commit a crime, target creature you control gains Menace or Lifelink. Not bad, but not great. Pitiless Carnage. Again, don't think that's for us. Jailbreak Scheme. Wouldn't mind playing another. I guess I'll take another Desert's Dew. I still think this, even with only a couple of deserts, is probably fine. Plus, we want to be able to commit crimes for all of our stuff. Ooh, Satoru. What is this one? 2/3 Menace. Whenever it and or one or more other non-token creatures ETB, if none of them were cast or no mana were spent to cast them, draw a card. Well, I don't think we're taking advantage of that very well, but it's a 2 mana, 2/3 Menace. I don't think we have any plot, to be honest. Yeah, I don't think we have any. It's still fine. Go ahead and take this here. I would love to get at least one more desert here. Oh, there it is. Eroded Canyon. Thank you very much. There is Consuming Ashes, which I would play. There is an Apothecary, which I'd probably play. And Unlicensed Hearse seems okay. It is a repeated way to commit crimes as long as they have a card in their graveyard. But I definitely want a Splashing Desert. Metamorphic Blast. 2 mana. Makes something an 0/1. 4 mana, draw 2, or 6 mana, do both. Not bad. Shackle Slinger. cast your second spell. We're not really leaning into that super great. I have heard Scuttle that Arid Archway is pretty good. I need to see it first. I haven't played with or against it. So I'd just like to see that that card is pretty good before I put it in my deck. It doesn't seem great to me. But we'll figure out together. That's what I'm here to do. Waste my gems so you don't have to. Assimilation Aegis seems pretty good, but I don't think that's something we're willing to splash here. So let's take the splasher. Pun not intended, I guess. Now we've got basically nothing here for us. We're not playing a white card. So I'll just go ahead and rare draft. Another Gardener if we feel like we have to splash a little bit, I suppose. Alright, how much can I splash and ionize versus just taking a Bloodseeker? I think I'll take the Bloodseeker. It can commit a crime if I need it to. It trades off. It gains me a couple life. I think that's better for me. Couple of cards I won't play. Jailbreak Scheme I could play. And Outlaws Fury, no thank you. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and build this deck, and I will see you after deck building. Alright, after deck building, this is where I ended up. I'm not particularly thrilled with this, to be honest. I mean, this is just going to kind of be a test in how easy it is to commit crimes, because this deck has 16 ways to do it. And can get paid off for it in a big way with Intimidation Campaign here. But that's pretty much our whole game plan, is to just mess with our opponents a lot. Our win cons are like Duelist of the Mind, Geyser Drake, Hollow Marauder, Rooftop Assassin, a couple of flyers. I'm splashing Pest Infestation off a Forest and an Oasis Gardener here. I think the card's good enough to do it. I just didn't end up with any green deserts, unfortunately. So, again, not particularly thrilled with this, but it should be an interesting one, a nice little warm up to the format here. We're going to get into our game one, but before I do, this is our first draft of the set. But if you are watching along today or continue to watch along in the future and enjoy the content and are not yet subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. I have drafts coming out every single day for the next 2.5 weeks, every single weekday for the next 2.5 weeks of this set. So you're going to get a ton of draft content. And honestly, if you're subscribed, it just curates your feed so you can see my content on your feed, and you don't even have to watch all of them. In fact, I don't even expect you to watch all of them. Nobody's got that kind of time, but if you see a thumbnail or a title that kind of intrigues you, you can just click on that one and you won't miss another upload. And I also do have a Patreon page for those of you looking to give back to the channel monetarily. It's very, very inexpensive. The link is in the description for that. Go ahead and check that out, and thanks for your consideration when it comes to giving back to content creators that provide you with entertainment. So with that said, we're going to dive into our first Outlaws of Thunder Junction game here. So I'll see you in game number one. Okay, here we are, and we do go first. A little bit of a slow hand. Our first thing isn't till turn 3, but I have found this format to not necessarily be the fastest thing in the world. So we can start with Intimidation Campaign and then have a couple of ways to commit crimes and return it right back to our hand. What did they plot? Sheriff of Safe Passage. Okay. Should be fine. So that's the one that ETBs with counters based on the other number of creatures that they control. And this one plots for 3 here. The Rictus Robber, I mean. Okay, they're going to go ahead and ramp. I guess I'm going to hold up Rooftop Assassin and Repulse and Desert's Dew. Don't think I'm going to play a 4-mana 4/3 here. And I don't think they want to play their Sheriff. Did not think so. Alright. This does have Flash. So let's just pass here. Alright, 3-mana 3/3. Whenever it attacks while saddled, it gets +1/+2, and then bounces if they want to. Okay. Pass to attackers. I think I'm going to be mana efficient here and just play the Rooftop Assassin. I can still repulse on their turn here. So let's just get some lifelink going. I could also cast Jailbreak Scheme, but if I wait till 6 mana, which would be next turn, I can also just do both of these abilities. Put a counter on a creature, which would be my creature, and then bounce one of theirs. I could plot right now, hold up Desert Stew, but I would rather hold up Repulse and Desert Stew. That's my plan here. We'll see if they go for the saddle, and then I can bounce in response. Non-token creatures you control have tap, create a token copy that's a copy of target token you control that entered the battlefield this turn. Interesting. Okay. That has haste. It's only 3 mana. I guess I can bounce this and they can't recast it this turn. If I bounce this, they would just recast it here. So let's bounce this one. Ooh, Intimidation Campaign. Let's go. Oh, this is going to be fun if we draw this card a good bit. Okay, past the damage. Let's see if they play an X2. If they do, I might not. Is this a mount? It is. So, looks like even if I Desert Stew, it's not going to save my Rooftop Assassin here, so I guess we have to let that resolve. Okay, my turn. Let's keep doing this while we have the ability. Where are my deserts? Alright, let's go ahead and reset this thing. And look at this, we still have 6 cards in hand. This does have the ability to get out of control at some point. We do just need to find one desert for it to kind of... Our deserts do to be able to kill these things on the battlefield, so... See if we can find that. No. So I can play Desperate Bloodseeker and then hold up Desert's Due here. This also commits a crime and returns the campaign here. I could Repulse. I think I'm gonna do this. Commit the crime. Bring it back to my hand. And then if they don't have priority in the middle of combat, I can block and use Desert Stew to kill one of these things. But if they have priority, I'm not going to go for that. Okay, they do have priority, unfortunately. So I don't think I can make that block, unfortunately, here. Yikes. Okay, that's a lot of creatures. Oh, what a combo. Alright, Desert Stew, you're looking horrible. What are we doing here? Okay. Okay, so there's their combat trick. So I kind of have to take that if I want Desert's Dew to really do anything here. I guess actually what I could have done is taken the creature. Yeah, this card's really good. Should have taken the creature and then repulsed in response to the gold rush, potentially. But I'm not sure we're winning this game anyway. So they kind of overwhelmed us and went wide enough. These Desert's Dews just did not get the job done. Oh, they're going to give it trample here. And I'm just going to bounce it with repulse, I guess. They get to replay it, but they do lose the trample ability on it at the very least. I've drawn a lot of cards, so at least I'm going down with a fight here. Gosh, take 6? I guess I have to. I mean... yeah, this brigand is looking horrible. Where are my couple of deserts? I think we've done all of our damage off of Intimidation Campaign. So Metamorphic Blast does basically nothing against the Sheriff here. 2 mana, so I have 4 mana left over if I want it. So I could, like, kind of do a couple of desert things here. I'm chumping that for sure. Yeah, this deck just spins its wheels, but I'm not sure we're going to be able to win. Note to self, in future drafts, play Desert's Dew with more than 2 deserts. Because 2 mana -2/-2 just isn't getting it done. If I had 1 desert, this would have been such a different game, because these things would be gone by now. Okay, go to combat, block this. This would still be a 2/1 if I Metamorphic Blast it and block it. But something I can do is I can Metamorphic Blast and Desert's Dew to kill one of these things. But I am chumping here no matter what. So... let's do this and kill... this thing's coming in too, I forgot about that. I guess we go for that. I don't know how I'm dealing with this thing, though. Looking in their graveyard. Yeah, my removal isn't unconditional, which is the issue with this. So, like, they just keep playing, like, I bounce things, but then I have to figure out a way to deal with it later, which is going to be a problem here. And unfortunately, the campaign can't be cast 20 times, as much as I would love to. I don't think that's going to be a possibility. Oh, just get things straight back to the battlefield? Yeah, that means I'm, like, well dead here, I'm sure. Have not been able to find my deserts. I don't think there's a way we can survive here. What do I kill the sheriff, I block this one, I take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I just die. Yeah, that'll do it. Alright. I don't know if we're gonna have a better outing than that one there. Alright, now we go first this time, and, can't cast these two. Can cast Geyser Drake. Well, if we find one more land. Oh, this hand is not great, but you know how much I'm against mulliganing here. We do have a desert at the very least, so if we can find a swamp off the top, that would make this hand pretty darn good. Hey, there's both deserts. Alright, I guess we'll play it. Now, next turn we can play Geyser Drake, I suppose. And if we draw another land in 2 turns, we can play Hypothesizzle. Also, I'll let you know for those of you that are also new, one thing I like to do here on the channel is I post every single draft that I draft. I don't, like, curate the things that I draft and then post only the good ones, because I think there's also value in me losing and you watching that too. Ooh, double Raven. Okay. Yeah. Just because I don't do particularly well doesn't mean I'm not going to post it. Like I said, I think it's important to learn from bad decks as much as it is with good decks. So you will see this. Whether I go 0-3 or 7-1. We will see. So this makes these cheaper to cast on their turn here. So I guess I could play Satoru and hold up Repulse. I'm probably going to have to kill these Ravens. With double Raven, that's going to be a problem. I don't think they're blocking, because I have to try to race this a little bit. If I just sit back and let these Ravens trigger one after another, and just, like, keep the Geyser Drake back to block them, I'm just going to lose to their triggers. So I guess I'll take 2 and see what crime they're going to commit. That's a bad crime. That's my card. You can't do that. So many prosperity posts. Look at the top 2, exile 1 face down. You may play. Let's give that a shot here. The lock picker is a good one. Can I plot it? Oh, I didn't even realize that. It's a lot worse if you can't plot it. So if I do this, it's probably just going to cast it immediately, which I don't want to happen. So yeah, I don't want to risk that. So let's end the turn and either Siphon Insight or Tyrant Scorn one of these ravens here. See if they commit a crime. I'm sure they will. I'm sure their deck is built around it. There's the crime. Okay. Yeah, this could be difficult. Alright, well, I learned my lesson last time, so let's take the Repulse. Desert Stew isn't horrible, I guess. What could I flashback? I could flashback a Repulse here on one of the Ravens. Although I don't have the mana for that, so I cannot do that. Gosh, this deck just, like, spins its wheels and draws all the cards. It just can't really do anything about it. So this doesn't in itself commit a crime here. Well, that does. I wasn't expecting them to play a crime land. Come on. Okay, let's get rid of these stupid ravens. I do still have to take the triggers, unfortunately, but I did get rid of them, so at least there's that. So I can cast 4 mana, draw 2. Let's see if they decide to do anything here with the rest of their mana. Where's my intimidation campaign? I had fun last game with it. Yeah, once again. Well, let's just draw 2 here. There it is. All right, here we go. Ooh, pest infestation. Okay. Anything I want to be flashing back right now? No. Okay, so we'll just go to their turn, hold up all of our spells here, basically. Sure. No other plays. So I could play their Lockpicker on my turn and then flashback Desert's Dew to kill this thing. That'd be pretty good. I could also just, like, Hypothesis right now, but I might want to save that for a 4 toughness creature. This is the most mana efficient thing to do. I think I'm going to use the Lockpicker. Ooh, I could flashback Pest Infestation. No, I don't think I can. How does that work? I don't think if you flash something back for equal to its mana cost, yeah, I guess you can. Its mana cost is XX green, so I can do that for double X. All right, let's see what their plan is here with the Geyser Drake. All right, I'll hold Infestation in hand. Let's just play Lockpicker. See if they want to try to counter it or something, I guess. Yeah, okay. Let's just bounce that thing, return this to my hand. Oh, do they have another counterspell? Don't have the most mana efficient turn there, unfortunately, but now the Pest Infestation can kill that if they ever tap out. The only problem is I can only target that if I know they can't commit a crime. They did have a counterspell. But if they can commit a crime, I can't target their enchantment without them bouncing it. Do this here, return it back to our hand again. Playing the mirror match. Let's go to combat, see if we can hit. Okay, so interesting. Is it just a counterspell that they have or something? I guess I can flash in Rooftop Assassin here. Let's do that. 'Cause they weren't getting priority unless I was casting a spell. This card is a heck of a build around if you haven't seen today already. I mean, the Intimidation Campaign Mirror Match. Yeah, can't do anything about that. Ooh, that's a problem. That card is big. I can do X equals 4 for Infestation here. Just make a bunch of 1/1s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. I can do Intimidation Campaign and Hollow Marauder. Let's start this and see what I draw here. Oh, that's pretty darn good, actually. So 1, 2, 3, 4. What if I just cast this for... No, this would be 6? Am I going to use the rest of my mana if I don't cast this for 6? I don't think I am. So let's just cast this for 6. So pay 6, put a counter, and then bounce their token here. Yes, please, I'll take that back into hand. And now we've got a flying lifelinker here. This is a heck of a matchup. This is a card I would have loved to have gotten. Outlaw Stitcher here. It's a great card. Makes a big token to come along with it. Uh-oh. Something's dying. Yep, Assassin is dying. What is this? 1, 2, 3? I have to kill that. Like now, basically? So definitely red, blue, dun, 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 I guess is how we'll do this here. Discarding the gardener, I guess. Commit the crime, bring it back. And mill them for 2. Because I don't necessarily have any mill synergies here. Also, they've got 8 cards left in deck. I've got 11. At some point, we're going to have to stop casting these things for fear of decking ourselves. But that point is not right now. Ooh, do they have a counterspell to get rid of mine? No? Okay. Binding Negotiation. Sure. Okay. Make a 2/2 flyer. Alright, they're going for it here. 1, 2. Now I can kill the Intimidation campaign if I wanted to. Do I want to is the question. I can still kill it even if I play my own campaign here. And then they do have life gain here, unfortunately. They don't have a way to commit a crime unless they top deck one. So I could just play the Hollow Marauder. So I can kill that by using Skullduggery, but I don't think I need to. I'm going to bank on them not top decking away to commit a crime here. Yeah, that is a way to commit a crime. Okay, they're going for it. Still got a lot of stuff here. 6 cards, 6 cards. So now I kind of deck before they do. Are they going to... Alright, is it Pest Infestation time now? I think I can wait one more turn here. Do it next turn and then kill them the following turn. One, two, three, four. So I can still do everything else here. So let's do Swamp. Oh, see, this is why Skullduggery is so good. So until another target creature you control gets +1/+1, and then they get -1/-1. So this gets +1/+1, and that gets -1/-1, and it kills both creatures, which is pretty darn insane. I think I'm just gonna flash in Rooftop Assassin here. This is such a grindy game. Hey, I'm actually going to get value off of a Rooftop Assassin here. I think they're basically at the point where they can't campaign anymore. Alright, let's get in here, and then I'll just Pest Infestation for X equals, what would that be? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, so X equals 5 here. Submit 0. Wait, what? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, oh, so X equals 4. Alright. Make a bunch of 1/1s, and that should probably do it, and there it goes. Pest Infestation, good card. All right, we won the Intimidation Campaign Mirror Match. All right, we are first, and we do have a pretty darn good hand here. A couple of 2-drops we can cast. 3-drop Mana Ramper, let's go. I got a question for you all. Especially my international, and by international I mean non-US viewers here. Is this set, like, evocative of any sort of, like, is the imagery, like, does that actually work for you? Because I know the Wild West, if I'm not mistaken, is a very, very American thing. You know, Texas, Arizona, the desert, Vegas, things like that. It's a very United States kind of thing. I actually grew up in Texas in the United States, so this actually kind of hits home for me because rootin' tootin' howdy y'all is a thing that we just kind of did back when I grew up. And I just don't know if this is like at all evocative for any of you international viewers. Let me know in the comments if this is actually something that like provokes any sort of emotion for you, or if it's like, yeah, sure, Wild West, whatever. I don't know. I see it in books sometimes or in movies, but I'm just curious. Let's get Satoru down first here. Pretty good with Rictus Robber, but I think I'm going to cast Oasis Gardener next turn just to get my mana underneath me here. All right, plotting a Coyote. Okay, that has the ability to be pretty powerful here, so we're just going to do this. And then get in with Satoru. Let's see if Coyote can deal us some damage. So next turn we're going to have access to 5 mana. It's going to be pretty easy. We're going to go ahead and Duelist and plot the Rictus Robber, I believe. Alright, there's the Coyote for no value, I guess. Not gonna block. Okay, take 2. And pass. All right. Let's go ahead and plot this thing while we can, so they don't kill our gardener here. And then I guess we'll attack with Satoru and play a Duelist of the Mind. Okay, go to damage. Let's see if they let us. Wouldn't be surprised if they killed Satoru at this point. Okay, that's fine. Just cycling it, basically, just to see if they can, just draw a card and hit a land drop. Alright, am I willing to block with Duelist and then trade Duelist for a combat trick in their hand? Probably? So whenever you commit a crime, you get a loot here. Okay, so it's a 1/4. Whenever you get a crime, you get a 1/1 counter on it. And then you can exile a graveyard and have it become that, basically. Okay, let's see what we find off of this to start here. I really hate missing land drops, but these are both going to be really, really good. Additional upkeeps. No, I'll take a swamp. We can prevent some sort of double block here and save Satoru and cast Rictus Robber, which would all be very good. I don't think they're going to double block, though, because we could just remove the Coyote and then just eat it. Or remove Lazav and then just eat their Coyote. So I don't think they're blocking here. Yeah, that's what I thought. I'll just hold up Siphon Insight and Skullduggery with Oasis Gardener here. This thing is going to get out of control quickly because it's very easy to commit crimes, as you've seen, and this thing will just grow and grow and grow. Ooh. Okay. 5 mana, 5/4 trample. Yeah, I'll take action here. Cruel Ultimatum? If we top deck a land, we can cast Cruel Ultimatum. Oh, baby. Oh, I meant untapped land. Is there a way to... No, okay. Alright, let's do this. Commit a crime. Yeah, I guess I'll get rid of this now, I suppose. So next turn we're casting Cruel Ultimatum. So they sack a creature, discard 3, lose 5 life. We return a creature from your graveyard to your hand, of which we currently have none. Draw 3, then gain 5? Well, I'm basically sacrificing Satoru here so that I can get it back with Cruel Ultimatum next turn, because we're not going to have a creature in the graveyard. Ooh, that's even better. I'll take that. Okay. So then... we do Skullduggery. This gets +1/+1. That one gets -1/-1. And then we cast a free Rictus Robber, get a 2/2, and draw a card, and have Repulse up. What a turn. What an incredible turn. That was insane. That was a game-winning turn. And when we put Cruel Ultimatum on the stack next turn, we're going to get a concession. But, I mean, that's just gravy there. They'd be pretty far away from casting Cruel Ultimatum here with 3 swamps needed. Are they splashing this with triple black or something? Or are they just like black-red splashing blue? They might be, it's like straight Grixis. No! Alright, now we have to top deck an untapped land. Although, Duelist is going to give us 2 looks at that. That's a pretty good card. 5 mana, 5/4 menace. Let's bounce this thing. I would like to draw. I'll get rid of that. Draw a card. Alright. Well, we had 3 shots. Let's see if we can top deck it now. There we go. Alright, let's end this one here. Why did I discard that? Well, it doesn't... Let's put it this way. It doesn't matter why I discarded that. And there is the concession. Thank you for letting me beat you with your own card. Alright, let's go ahead and keep this here. Obviously need another blue or another black, but I think that should be okay. I think this deck is outperforming because the last 2 matchups that we played against have been more controlling decks. Ooh, there we go. That's pretty good. Let's... This is a way to commit a crime. I think it's important to just get this out of the hand early. See what we're dealing with here. Beastbond, Outcaster. Pretty good. Stagecoach Security. Reach for the Sky. Now we know they have that. And then that as well. What is the most annoying for their curve? I think it's clearly the Outcaster here, so we'll make them discard that. And then play this, and off we go. But yeah, if we play against a more controlling deck that kind of stumbles on its creatures and stuff, we do okay. Oh, I didn't even consider playing Gardener. I probably just should have played Gardener there. Yeah, it'll be okay. Yeah, that wasn't the greatest. Probably should have played Gardener. But if we play against like aggressive decks, red-white, you know, creatures that go wide, or decks that go wide, I think we're going to struggle quite a bit. Alright, let's... Which one is this again? That's fine. Okay, let's do this and see what we find here. I'm not going to cast Bounding Felidar, so I guess I'll take the land. And then I'll play the land and have it tap for blue. And then just continue to spin my wheels, I suppose. We do now have 2 deserts, so these are -4, -4. Not too bad. Much better than game 1. Okay, 3-3 and a 1-1. Skullduggery gonna eat the 1-1. So let's do this and that. Commit the crime. Bring it back here. They have a 4-4. Let's do blue, black, and 1. And then probably deserts do their townsfolk here, I would think. I can bounce this thing into oblivion many different times. I'll have to take 4, but I mean, I've got... If I draw my other desert, this can kill that. Repulse can bounce it. The Deserts do can kill the supplier now. Alright, we'll play the land. Let's just do this now. And then... yeah, just keep it going, I guess. Can we win with never attacking them? So +3, +2, and reach. Okay. There is another desert, just as we used all of our deserts here. Do I want to play that now or hold up Repulse here? I guess I could play that now and also do Satoru, so let's do that. Gosh, Intimidation Campaign is such a build-around. Like, this card is insane. Okay, that's fine. Little do they know that we're not really building around this, so it's not the end of the world that they went to do that. Plus, we also have Pest Infestation to get that back at some point. Speak of the devil. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7. So I can do Assassin and Repulse here, or Assassin and Siphon Insight. I guess both of those are okay. And if they go for an attack, I can bounce in response to reach for this guy. Guess I'll take 5. Gosh, I don't need more card draw. Honestly, a land might just be better. I don't know, this is a creature though. I don't know, I guess I'll just take the land. Let's just get this creature down here. Does this have reach? It does get reach. Okay, so I'll be able to repulse in response if they'd go for that. So let's continue the intimidation campaign train. So let's pretend like we don't know what's going on here and attack. No, okay. They called us out on it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. So we can do Assassin and still one of these here. I wonder at what point Pest Infestation is just worth it. So which one do we do here? Tyrant Scorn to kill that or Repulse to bounce it? Either one really works. I guess Tyrant Scorn can't really target that. I mean, it does the same as Repulse does, so let's just do this. And then I guess I'm going to repulse the security here. Yeah, I probably didn't want to do that. So much card draw. Oh my gosh. We had all the lands, we had 8 cards in hand, and we could have Pest Infestation for like 5 to kill both of their permanents on the battlefield. Kind of crazy. Alright, up first again. Seems pretty good to me. I mean, we got all of our colors here. I guess we just cast Bloodseeker on 2. Get a 2/2 lifelink down. Geyser Drake on 3, and then we draw another swamp. We can do both of these on 4. Would I rather do that now? No, I'm going to get the creature down because Binding Negotiation is actually still pretty good. If they use mana to plot something. Okay, so we have to go a little bit off curve here, unfortunately. Because we do need to kill this thing before they get landfall trigger off of it here, so... A bit mana inefficient, but... You know, can't let these things get out of hand. Ooh, all 4 colors. Don't mind if I do. I guess I'll just cast Rooftop Assassin, and then next turn I cast Geyser Drake and Binding Negotiation. That is a 4/4. That's a lot of cards. So they got 4 mana. So this is a 5 mana removal, hexproof, removal spell, hexproof creature. So I'm not killing any of their creatures anytime soon with double Snakeskin Veil. So do I just get rid of this thing? Because if they land this, then I can't kill anything. So I guess we just have to get rid of their creature here. And Throw from the saddle kills something. Trick shot kills something. Gonna have to top deck well here. Intimidation campaign. Anybody? Don't mind if I do. Probably gonna have to kill at least one of these flyers here soon. And throw from the saddle does do that. Becomes a 5/5. Sure, they'll kill the 2/2. Oh, I forgot Arid Archway adds 2 mana. Alright, well, I guess I'm going to Skullduggery and 2-for-1 myself on the Giant Beaver, because that makes their stuff so much worse here. I don't think they're blocking. Yeah, I can't imagine they're going to block. If they do, that would be insane for us, but yeah, I didn't think they would. Because I tried to get them while they were tapped out. And it's got Vigilance. Why does it have Vigilance? That's so good. So our Repulse is going to eat a Snakeskin Veil? Oh, that's so bad. So what we can do is we can trade Skullduggery and Repulse for double Snakeskin Veil here. But this still doesn't work. Yeah, this doesn't give reach, does it? No? Alright. Yeah, now that we know they have the Veils, it just makes things so not great. I mean, at some point they're going to have to kill this thing, right? I wouldn't be shocked if they used Throw from the Saddle this turn. Oh, I just realized they only have 1 green here. Darn. Why did I not realize that sooner? Okay, so what we can do when they attack here now is Skullduggery, they'll Snakeskin Veil, and we Repulse in response, and that's pretty darn good for us here. So let's do this. Skullduggery, me, you. They're going to Veil, and then we're going to Repulse. Okay, they're at 3, but 3 is not 0, and they have a lot of gas in their hand here. Intimidation campaign would go a long way in closing out this game. They have another creature now? I guess they can use Throw from the Saddle? That would kill it? Yeah, so okay. Sure. Okay. Ah, second green means they can cast a Beaver and hold up Veil here. Yeah. Okay, 3 is not 0. I guess flooding can still happen. I think I could have done this a whole lot differently had I realized they only had 1 green a long time ago. I think that was pretty darn bad. I guess I have to trade Desert's Dew for Snakeskin Veil here. Yeah, again, I know they've got Veil, but, I mean, I have to get it out of their hand somehow, so let's let them do that. Guess I could have waited for the campaign as an out here, so I can use Desert's Dew as a crime? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's it. No, we just lost. Okay. Yeah, pretty big flooding there, unfortunately. I mean, I don't think there's really anything different I could have done. I could have played knowing that they only had one green. I don't know well enough early on in the game how that would have changed things, but we just top decked horribly. Hello there, beautiful Intimidation campaign. Don't mind if I do. We'll keep this hand. And probably just Binding Negotiation on 2. Yeah. I could hold up Tyrant Scorn, but let's just do this. Wow. That's a lot. So when it enters the battlefield, reanimate something with 2 counters, legendary controls dies, it deals damage to me. Jolene is pretty good. I just have to hope they miss land drops here, I guess. And this is the best way to make sure they do that? I had 2 shots at a land. Let's see if they hit it. They did. This will be tough. Okay. I don't like our chances this game, knowing what they have in hand here. Bristle Bandit holding up Snakeskin Veil makes sense. Got rid of another Prickly Pear and a land. They've got a pretty darn good looking deck. Because they can also cast Rakdos Joins up now and get back Jolene. But then they can't hold up Snakeskin Veil if they do that. So I could play this and risk getting a land, drawing a land. If I draw a land, it's great. But I have to do this, unfortunately. Because I can't risk... see? I guess now I can... God, Nimble Brigand is just not very good in this deck. Guess I'll just do this and then hit them here. Because as long as they've got Snakeskin Veil up, things are going to be difficult. We have 1 removal spell in hand here. Okay, there's Jolene holding up Veil. Nope. Alright, tapped out again. One, two, three. Let's do this. No more Secret Reach. This is quite a lot going on here. One more mana would mean I can eat the Deadeye Duelist with this. But something I can do is just attack here, and if they block, I can cast Rooftop Assassin, which would be pretty good. It's also not the greatest Hollow Marauder deck, but we've done very well playing around Snakeskin Veil so far. That has reach. Yes, it does. So something I can do is in response to Skullduggery, or in response to either of these, I can cast the other one. In response to Snakeskin Veil being cast on the lookout here. So let's do 1, 2, 3. Let's do this. Let's play the land. Go to combat. I know that has a reach, but I have 2 combat tricks here. So let's attempt to make that a 1/1, and then we'll Skullduggery it. Oh, wait. No, because the Skullduggery, -1/-1, the Snakeskin Veil gets a counter, so it would still go to a 3/3. So we got to do this first. So let's go target a creature I control. Oh, it's still not going to work, right? Because this is going to get countered. Because that gets hexproof. So I guess I can Skullduggery on their bandit here. So I can go like this and then like this. And then they're going to give hexproof to the bandit. And then I can blast the lookout. I guess that's the best way to do it. No? I would also be fine trading here. Yeah, I didn't think they would. So let's go ahead and add 1. Pay 1. Do that. And then we'll eat it. Pass it back. And we managed to play through the Snakeskin Veil. A lot worse when you know they have it. Alright, let's do good old Intimidation campaign. Can't cast that, unfortunately. Also can't cast that, but let's see if they trade. If they trade, then we can cast the Marauder here. I don't think they will. I mean, we're at 34. I guess they will. Okay. Sure, take 4. That's fine. Go to 34. And then cast this thing. Target you. Commit a crime. Fling. Man, look at this deck. When it does its thing, and by its thing I mean draws Intimidation campaign, boy is it a problem for them. And let's do this. I guess we can afford to play this now. Yeah. Wow. What a deck. Okay, this hand is really weird. We'd go first. If we draw blue, the hand is great. If we don't draw blue, the hand is still keepable. We have a couple of early removal spells. I'm going to keep it. It's risky. We kind of need a couple of things for the hand to be good. If we top deck an island, then we're off to the races. But if we miss on blue for a while, it's going to be awkward. Because Skullduggery, for those of you that don't know, you can't actually cast this unless you have a creature on the battlefield. So if you want to give something -1/-1, you also have to have a creature. Because you have to have target creature you control and target creature they control. So let's see if they play an X2 here. Yeah, Skullduggery would be good, but we'll go ahead and just kill their Manadork, draw the blue, and off we go. Plotting. Okay, I see. Alright, let's cast this here. Mill them. Got to play in the heist and pass it back. So this is a 3-drop. Sure. Go ahead and just make them get a 3-3 here. And now we're running out of gas a little bit. I can still bounce if they play the Quilled Charger again and gets us another card draw. You know what card we could really draw? Yep, that's the one. Conduit Pylons. That's a desert, right? Yeah. See what they play here. Whatever creature they play, I'm probably just going to bounce it. Red-green I don't think is a great matchup for us. The creatures are probably just too big. Alright, I guess I'm going to try to Deserts do this. I'm not going to have much of a better target. Yeah, land is not what I wanted. I will play it because Repulse is an instant that could give us another instant here. Ah, they've got Hexproof. Darn. So they've got Snakeskin Veil. See, pass to attackers. They're still getting priority here. Do I have to do it, though? At least I think that's what it is. I mean, I don't know of another green trick in the format. Alright, I'll play around it. And by play around it, I mean continue to draw lands. Well, the games that we lose are the games where we kind of run out of gas. But boy, if we don't run out of gas, deck is pretty darn good. Yeah, so they've got Throw from the Saddle with backup here. I have to try it. I mean, if they've got the Veil as well, looks like they do. I mean, I had to give it a shot. But now we're just kind of dead in the water here, unfortunately. Yeah, we're just going to be taking 6 a few turns in a row, so that's just not going to work out for us. Snakeskin Veil is going to be a really annoying card to play against in this format. 1 mana Hexproof. It also gets a counter. Yeah, I think we're dead here. So we know the matchups that this is good with, and we know the matchups it's not so good with. We found the bad matchups. They have another one? No. So we're dead in like 2 turns here. Yeah, that certainly doesn't help. So all it takes is just a little bit of Flood, and our deck just folds completely. But you know what? What do we go, 4-3 today? I consider it a win. We had a lot of fun here in the first draft of the format. Seems like a fun format. Then again, there's not many better things than drafting Magic the Gathering, especially a new set. It's really hard for a new set to not be fun. So what are we taking here? 7, 8, 9, 10. Go to 4. And I don't think we have an answer. Don't have a board wipe in the set or in our deck. Gets menace too, right? Yeah. There's another creature. That's just a blocker that's not going to do anything. So, yep, just a little bit of mana screw, but 4-3 Intimidation Campaign. Now you know, if you didn't think that card was good, at least you saw today how good of a card it is. It was our entire deck. When we drew it, I think we won every game, and we didn't draw it, I think we lost every game. It's pretty much how that goes. I'm going to be drafting this set every single weekday for the next 2.5 weeks, for the first 2.5 weeks of the format. Then I'm going to switch to once every 3 days. So now you know the schedule of the format for OTJ. Thanks for tuning in today, and I'll see you tomorrow for your daily draft.